Hello again, YouTube. This is Everything's a Blur. How's it going, everybody? Back again to give you another video review. This time I wanted to give you an overview and initial impression of the brand new Tom Bihn Aeronaut 30. For those of you who are familiar with Tom Bihn bags or with one bag travel, you'll probably recognize the bag you see on the screen right here. You're right, this is not an Aeronaut 30. This is the original Aeronaut, now called the Aeronaut 45. It's a 45-liter bag. By and large, it conforms to all North American carriers' conventions of what is a maximum carry-on size travel bag. This bag I've been using for well over a year. It's come with me all over the world, business travel, pleasure travel, and it's performed great. Now this bag is the Aeronaut 30. This is the smaller version of the Aeronaut 45. Just based on number, it's 30 liters as opposed to 45, so it's roughly 2/3 the size of the old bag. It's a little shorter in pretty much all dimensions, but it fits quite a lot of stuff, as you'll see as we go through this bag. I got this bag predominantly for my wife, who's considerably shorter than I am, just because the Aeronaut 45 is going to look a little big on her and she didn't need a new bag. So let's take a quick tour of the bag and we'll look at what's changed between the 45 and the 30, see what fits inside, and see how it actually wears on someone's back. So going over some of the external design changes that have occurred on the Aeronaut 30 coming from the larger Aeronaut, now known as the Aeronaut 45, you can see starting on the side pockets, the orientation of the zippers on the Aeronaut 30 has changed as it has throughout the entire bag, where they are now right side up zippers. And the direction that the bag zips has also changed, where it's now swooping up towards the front of the bag, whereas on the Aeronaut 45, which you can see on the right, it is swooping up towards the back of the bag. Here we can see the side pockets on the other side of the bag. On the Aeronaut 45 on the right, you can see that this used to be the pocket that was not actually zipped. This was a straight down open pocket, so you could just shove whatever you wanted straight into it. On the Aeronaut 30, this has changed into a zippered pocket. The upside of that is now there's actually an O-ring placed inside as well. Moving to the top of the bag, the D-ring loops that would attach to the shoulder strap. On the Aeronaut 45, they are perpendicular to the length of the bag and they follow the seam of the side pocket. When you move over to the Aeronaut 30, the shape of the bag and construction of the bag has changed a little bit, where there's now this seam from the side panel, which is I guess the top, and the D-ring loops actually now follow along this line as opposed to following along perpendicular to the length of the bag. They're now more parallel. One other design element that appears to have changed is the orientation of which end of the bag is up has changed from the Aeronaut 45 to the Aeronaut 30. So you can see, looking at the backs of the two bags here, the Aeronaut 30, which is in front, considers this right side of the bag to be the top. Because when I open this zip, this is where the backpack straps come out. If we move over to the Aeronaut 45, the opening for the backpack straps is actually on the left side. So the pockets on that side are considered up. I don't know if there's actually a functional difference, but it was just rather interesting. So looking at these two bags side by side and packed, they're both actually pretty full, moderately full. There's still plenty of room to actually fit a few more things in if I wanted to squish it in there. But here you can see this is the Aeronaut 45, and here we have the Aeronaut 30. You can see that there's still little bits of room. I could probably fit a few more things in there. But as a point of comparison, let's open up the 45 and see what I can fit in here. So in here right now I've got size 3 stuff sack, Ultimate Ears Boom portable speaker. I'm really just shoving things in here to make it fit. Large Aeronaut packing cube. And underneath it we have another large Aeronaut packing cube, but this one's the backpack. And I also have my carbon fiber travel tripod, which is a Mi Photo road trip carbon fiber. It's about 16 inches collapsed, and that fits in there, and you could barely tell that the bag was really overstuffed. In each of the side pockets I've got I think a Aeronaut end pocket packing cube. These are all just filled with various clothes and towels and stuff. So now if we take a look at what's inside the Aeronaut 30, let's just start with the main zipper here. Nice ultraviolet interior. So this is stuffed with 2 large Aeronaut packing cubes. These are actually the packing cubes for the regular Aeronaut. When I was looking at the dimensions, they're actually pretty similar, so I decided not to get more packing cubes since I already had plenty of ones for the Aeronaut. So 2 large Aeronaut packing cubes fit in here fine. It fills pretty much the entire space, whereas in the 45 I actually still had room to shove a lot more stuff at the top of the bag, as you saw with the tripod and this portable speaker and another stuff sack, and there was still a little room on top. Looking into the sides of the bag, I've got a Aeronaut 30 travel laundry stuff sack that fits in there nicely. And then on this side I've got another Aeronaut 45 large end pocket packing cube. The packing cubes are a little bigger than they should be for this model, but they fit fine if you don't overstuff them. So let's put that back in. Now that we've taken everything out of the Aeronaut 30, we can look at the one other major design change from the Aeronaut 45 to the Aeronaut 30. So right here in the main compartment you can see that there's a zipper along this edge here, and there's another zipper along the other side by the other end pocket. And these zippers help you control how much space you want to dedicate to the main compartment versus the 2 side compartments. In the Aeronaut 45, these were actually controlled by 2 button snaps on either side, and here they actually have a zipper. So if we undo this zipper, you can see that the internal wall that was from the side pocket is now loose, so you can actually push this all the way out, pretty much to all the way to the end. It is still fixed at all points, so it will give you a lot more room on the interior of the main compartment, but it isn't completely getting rid of this pocket. Like as you can see here, if I push it out, there's still kind of this upper area that still remains as part of the pocket, just because where the interior of the pocket is affixed, so it's affixed to this point here. And on the bottom, it has a little shaping where it actually kind of gives it a little more room to expand out of the bottom side. And then there's the usual accoutrements that you find inside the Aeronaut. We've got compression straps that you can remove via gatekeeper clips. There are O-rings at the top. And then we've got the zippered mesh pocket at the top flap of the bag. And within here, there should be another O-ring right here. So this is the Aeronaut 45. This is the bag that I'm usually carrying. I'm about 5'10", 190 pounds, standard to athletic build. So I've carried this bag, planes, trains, through airports, generally just walking location to location when I'm traveling. I usually find it's pretty comfortable as long as you're not walking too far. The lack of a back pad makes my back a little sweaty if it's a hot location. But this is generally about where I wear it. The bottom of the bag is sitting, the weight of the bag is resting the small of my back, or around my waist, and the base of the bag is a little below my belt line. It's just above my butt. Now let's compare this to the Aeronaut 30. So this bag is a little shorter. This is actually going to be a good bag if you have a smaller torso, or if you're generally just a little shorter, just because it won't ride so long on you and look a little disproportionate. So the bag feels pretty comfortable, feels about the same as the Aeronaut 45, but it is resting a little higher on my back. So the bottom of the bag is now above my belt, or just around where my belt is. So there you have it. That's been our overview and initial impressions on the Tom Bihn Aeronaut 30. Fantastic bag, just like its older and larger sibling. Build quality is fantastic, materials are great. Tom Bihn customer service, as always, is second to none. In terms of who this bag I think is for and who would find this most useful, I think this bag is going to be great for anyone who just doesn't need to carry nearly as much stuff as the Aeronaut 45. It still carries a tremendous amount of stuff, whether it's clothes or towels or whatever you need to bring with you. There are other options in this size range. So if you are looking within the Tom Bihn family, the TriStar and the Western Flyer are both similar in dimension and size. The TriStar is about 33 liters. The Western Flyer, I think, is about 26 liters. So this sits in the middle of those two in terms of overall capacity. But the arrangement is very different. Those two bags are very much divided bags where it's almost like you're traveling with a briefcase that can also carry clothes. The Aeronaut 30, just like the 45, is very much a three-pocket duffel. And you can expand that central duffel compartment to fill out the entire bag. So I hope this has helped, and if you are interested in the Tom Bihn Aeronaut 30, go to tombihn.com and have safe travels.